like me and the camera are one. Well, it reflects off the light, so I guess I'm gonna have to do this. Hey, no. Not funny? I thought that was a pretty good opening gag. I don't know. Hey everybody, I am Keaton. This is Keep Catholic Season 6, Episode 19. We're getting close to Season 7. Pretty cool. One of the longest running TV shows. Also not funny. I do that at talks sometimes. Like, I'll be at a talk and I'll tell a joke and nobody laughs. And then I ask, like, people to laugh to make me feel better about myself. And then they, like, this, most of them do, but this one talk, like, they still didn't laugh and it was very uncomfortable. Anyway, so for today's topic, I want to let you guys know about sacramentals. But before I get into it, please go check out my website. Please click the red subscribe button and share this video and channel with your friends and family. Make sure that they know about Kid Catholic. Also, I haven't heard much from kids who went to Steubenville on last week's video. So if you didn't see last week's video, please go check it out. And if you went to Steubenville, please let me know what your experience was like. Alright, so today's video is on sacramentals, and it's actually not very clear as to what exactly sacramentals are. They're like rosaries, scapular, stuff like that, right? But are they only objects, or are they blessings? Or, you know, like a blessing from a priest. Is that a sacramental? It's a little dicey. It's a little unclear. But what we do know is that sacramentals are things like rosaries, scapulars. They can be candles. There are a lot of object sacramentals, and that's what I'm going to focus on for this video, is objects. However, if we want to get a little more clear as to if they are blessings or not, I have right here the definition in the Baltimore Catechism of a sacramental. It is: sacramentals are holy things or actions of which the Church makes use to obtain for us from God, through her intercession, spiritual and temporal favors. Favors. So, whether they're blessings or not, it doesn't matter too much. What really matters is that they do provide favors for us. They provide little helps throughout the day. Now, unlike the sacraments, sacramentals were not instituted by Jesus. When Jesus came down over 2,000 years ago, he instituted a lot of things. He began a lot of things, but sacramentals were not one of them. Sacramentals were founded by a church. So I've sort of known that sacramentals can help us, and I know that, I don't know about y'all, but they make me like feel better whenever I know that I'm holding my rosary, or whenever I have my scapular. Those things like that, they make me feel a little bit better, but I didn't know, like, specifically, you know, what they can do for us, like, legitimately. I keep using that word a lot in these past couple of videos. I'm getting fancy now. Anyway, again, the Baltimore Catechism has a list of some of the things that it can do for us. I have it right here. It gives us the healing of venial sins, the remission of temporal punishment, and protection from evil spirits. So those are just a few things, which are actually a lot more than most people thought they do, right? They don't just provide us some healing or something to hold on to when we're in a dangerous situation, or when we want to pray the rosary. What they do is they provide healing of venial sins. That's pretty big. Venial sins, there are two types of sins, moral and venial. Venial is like the less bad type sin, but obviously they're still bad because it's a sin. And so they can provide the healing of that. They can provide protection from evil spirits, right? They can provide less temporal punishment, which is purgatory. I talked about purgatory a few videos ago, if you want to go check that out. So they can do so much for us, a lot more than most people think. Something else that is cool about sacramentals is that sacramentals can actually become third-class relics. In a way, anything can become a third-class relic. If it is touched to a first-class relic, then that then becomes a third-class relic. So we can have like a rosary or a scapular, or become first-class relics, or third-class relics. And it's not just rosaries and scapulars that are sacramentals. There's a lot more sacramentals. There's candles. We can consider a Bible a sacramental. Some people consider a Bible a sacramental. There's a lot of sacramentals out there. I can't go through and name them all right now because this is only one video. But if you don't like have a sacramental, or you don't have a lot of sacramentals, so you just have like a rosary and a scapular, like the two most popular sacramentals, I actually suggest that you go and look up some, like, a list of sacramentals, because there's a ton of them, that you could get some more in your house to help you out. Like I said, when you feel that you are in either spiritual spiritual or physical danger, you can rely on those sacramentals. Now, this is something that I've thought for like a long time is why do we need sacramentals? Why do we need to use them, right? Can we do it without them? Don't we have God to rely on? And yeah, that is the case. You can have spiritual help. You can rely on God without the sacramentals. But the physical favors that it just said, literal protection from evil spirits, literal removal of temporal punishment, forgiveness of venial sins, it is so much more than just something to rely on, and it is something to rely on. And we can talk to God, yes, when we're in danger, spiritually or physically, we can talk to God. However, we can also have something physical to hold on to, something physical to look at, right, to hold on to, such as a rosary, which a lot of people use, right? There's also holy water. That's another great sacramental. You can sprinkle holy water on things. There was actually like a big tornado warning, like a big tornado heading towards me, and my mom, she got like the holy water thing and she sprinkled it around the house. So that is a sacramental that can provide us some protection. So yes, you could rely on people or pray for protection without sacramentals, but they give us so much help. I just named 3 of the favors that they do. That's a lot of help. Now, I'm not saying that we should only use or only wear sacramentals when we are in danger, when we feel like either physical from, like I said, a tornado or something, or spiritual danger, when we shouldn't just do that. Even if we have the best relationship with God, even if we are absolute best friends with God, we still need to use these sacramentals that Mary blessed us with, that Mary gave to us, because they are so vitally important. Like I said, they also remove venial sins, right? So they do so much more than just having us rely on them. So I'm not saying that we should only use them when we're in danger or something like that, but they are a big help for when we are in danger. So to go over it, sacramentals were not instituted by Jesus. They were instituted by the church, but in a way instituted by Mary. They give us removal of temporal punishment, not complete removal, partial removal, not remover. They provide healing of venial sins. They give us protection from evil spirits, right? They can give us protection from physical things, such as a tornado. Like I said, the tornado didn't end up hitting our house, by the way, obviously, as you can see. So they can do so much for us, and a lot of times we can take advantage of them just because they're so easy to get, just because they're everywhere. We can take advantage of sacramentals. They can just be looked at as, a Catholic shopping item, right, that we see in a store. If we see a cool rosary, just a shopping item to add to our collection. They're not just that. They're full-on sacramentals, and we need to stop taking advantage of these sacramentals, right, because some of them were literally given to us by Mary, right, such as the rosary and the scapular, right? Those were literally given to us by Mary herself. So we need to stop taking advantage of the sacramentals, and it could be hard just because, like I said, they are everywhere, but we need to try our best to come to fully understand what sacramentals are and how we can't keep taking advantage of them. So now that the topic is done, you all know what it's time for now. It's time for
the Saint of the Week.
So today's Saint of the Week is Saint Dominic Savio. Now, Saint Dominic Savio is actually a different Saint Dominic than who Mary gave the rosary to. Mary gave the rosary to a different Dominic. This Saint Dominic Savio actually had a very short life, but a very incredible one. He was very devout from a young age. In fact, from the time he was a little kid, he always said his prayer before meals and refused to eat with anyone who didn't. That sounds awesome. Like, imagine being like that, like, confident that you could literally say, I will not eat with you unless you pray to Jesus. That's just awesome. And St. Dominic Savio, when he was 7, he received his first communion, and he said that was like the happiest day of his life, was the day he received first communion. And when he received his first communion, he made 4 promises, and the most famous of those promises, and the most impactful one, I think, is death rather than sin. A 7-year-old wrote this, guys. A 7-year-old who had just received his first communion on the day of his first communion wrote death rather than sin. The other promises consisted of he will visit confession often, he will receive the Eucharist as much as his confessor allows, and Mary and Jesus will be his best friends, which are some awesome promises. Now, St. Dominic Savio wanted to be a priest, and he worked directly under St. John Bosco, and St. John Bosco was like his mentor. So when St. Dominic Savio was learning directly under St. John Bosco, his health was actually failing, and his doctor recommended that he move back home to recover, and he did so. And on his last day, when he was leaving away, he predicted that would be his last devotion, and that he was going to die very soon. And he wasn't worried. He was happy. He was excited. He was ready to be with Jesus, be with God in heaven. And he died at the age of 14. His story is absolutely incredible. And why I chose him to be this week's saint is because I think his devotion to not only Mary and Jesus, but to everything in the faith, his confidence to say, I will not eat with you unless you pray before the meals. That is the type of stuff that we need to have currently, right? That's the type of stuff the sacramentals can help us with, not as much as other things like sacraments or something like that, but that's the St. Dominic Savio, his entire personality, his entire life. That is like an exact life that we need to copy, right? Of course, we should always try to copy Jesus' life first, but I mean, he was sinless, so that might be a little hard to do, and in fact, impossible to do. But we should always strive to copy Jesus. However, we should also strive to copy St. Dominic Savio. He's the patron saint of altar boys, juvenile delinquents, wrongfully accused. So yeah, his story is pretty incredible, and if we ever feel like we're trying to get in that, what's the word I'm looking for, in that sort of mentality of Jesus will be my best friend, which we should always be. But if we feel like we have fallen out of that and we want to get back in, then St. Dominic Savio is a great saint to pray through, because we don't pray to the saints. So thank you all so much for watching. Before you click off this video, I don't know how many people watch my outro, but before you click off this video, please click the red subscribe button down below, the like button. Please share this channel with your friends and family. Make sure that they know about Kid Catholic. Please comment any saint or topic suggestions. Comment some of your favorite sacramentals, some of the sacramentals you have. Maybe some of your experiences. What have the sacramentals done for you personally? Also, please check out my social medias, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The link to all three of those will be in the description and in the comments below. Also on my website, there's a ton of things you can do on there. You can buy your very own Kid Catholic t-shirt. You can contact me. You can read about me. You can check out a photo gallery. There's so many things you can do. All my videos are up there, so please go check that out. This was Kid Catholic, Season 6, Episode 19. I'll see y'all next week, and hi, Brielle!